Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes, and I'm finally back with a really cool model from the folks from Mobius Models, and that is none other than the 350 scale NX-326 USS Franklin from Star Trek Beyond. And without further ado, let's get to it. So back in 2016, Star Trek Beyond finally came to the big screen, and surprisingly enough, it was really fun film to watch. But I think the ship that people tend to gravitate more towards, besides the Enterprise, was the USS Franklin. And I know, like myself and other model kit builders out there, we're kind of wondering, when are we going to get an official model kit? And thanks to Mobius, they finally deliver. So, what's inside the box? So right out the bat, you will notice that there's literally only 4 pages. Brief introduction on how to assemble it, which you do need glue, as well as assortment of simple decals, which are very good, as well as, a brief introduction on how to paint it. And you get 2 options. You can paint it how it looks on the box art, or you can paint it how it looks in the movie, but that's going to require some own personal research to make it look the way you want it. So the big question is, what colors you're going to need. We got our classic clear yellow, orange, and red. Red's going to be used for the impulse engines, while yellow and orange are going to be used for the nacelle. As for the rusted effects, I went with dark copper because it works very well with titanium silver, so they can contrast between one another. And for the pre-shadowing, I use good old flat black or rubber black. As for the Tamiya flat black, that's going to be primarily used for the interior part of the kit for the LEDs, and I'll get into that in a little bit later. Our good old trusty light gray primer from Tamiya. Tamiya putty, basic type. This is going to be pretty much used if you have some light bleeding in your model kit, which does happen when you do LEDs. Good old trusted Tamiya panel lining black, as well as some Zap glue. I mean, you're entitled to use any other glue that you want, but I like this one preferably because it dries faster. So when I was explaining briefly on what the flat black was going to be used for, here's a brief video on explaining what we're trying to do. As you can see here, the parts are transparent, so when you shine a light through it, you can clearly see where the LED light is followed. So if you put it stationary in one spot, it's just going to light up that one area altogether. So what the flat black is going to do, it's going to help reduce that from popping out. So I did apply like 3 to 4 layers to make it work, but it is optional if you want to apply a little bit more. So after applying the first 3 to 4 coats of black, you start to notice that it's coming along really well, but you notice that there's some areas that are still popping out, they're translucent, or they're just not fully painted. Don't freak out, add another 2 to 3 layers to it and it'll come out just fine. But I did notice in my time painting the interior part that the air can was very inconsistent, and I was noticing that I was running out of flat black incredibly fast. So I happened to have my old airbrush, I whipped that sucker out, I had some spare Tamiya flat black, and surprisingly enough, that works incredibly well. In fact, it actually works consistently better because it gets into those tight areas more efficiently than an aerosol can. So after letting the interior part sit for close to 2 to 3 hours, it's time to hit that top surface with our good old friend Tamiya light gray primer, and that's going to act as our base coat. Next up is pre-shading, and the one I'm going to be using is the rubber black, not the bronze. The bronze will come later after I'm done. So once we apply the pre-shading technique onto the whole entire kit, the next final step is applying the Tamiya Titanium Silver. Now the kit does indicate you can use a light gray, but as I noticed in the film, the hull does have a nice reflective surface, and plus the Titanium Silver has a little bit of a brown tinge to it, so in a way it works very well to create that nice dirty look of the whole entire ship. But other than that, guys, this is part 1 of the 2-part series. Part 2 will be coming up very, very shortly, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later. When I fall, you be grateful.